welcome back to part 2 of the Port Crag. Part 1 was a long time ago where we looked at some knots. I recorded that back in May this year. We're now into the end of September. This second edition I'd like to look at scrambling. Standing here in Norfolk, it's quite difficult to explain what scrambling is, but essentially it's what in other places they might talk about as being mountaineering. I think the definition that's generally accepted is that we're using our hands at some point to make progress. In the UK, we've got 3 grades of scrambling. We've got grade 1 scrambling, which is generally on steep ground where your hands might be used. Grade 2, where the exposure is a little bit higher. There are still moves that you may have to use your hands and your feet, and you might have a bit of a drop below you. Grade 3 is really getting towards diff and V-diff rock climbing. There will be sections that will probably be of that standard, and you will have a lot of exposure. Grade 1 tends to be done without ropes in this country. Grade 2 tends to be done sometimes with ropes and sometimes without ropes. And grade 3 really, for most people, would involve roped climbing. Twice this year, people have said to me, this isn't scrambling, this is rock climbing, when we've been on classic grade 3 scrambles. I'm only going to look at one technical aspect today because I want to keep these videos down to 5 minutes. The only thing that I'm going to look at is how do you take coils around your body, because taking coils is one of those things that is quite unique to scrambling and moving over steep ground in this way. Now, you don't normally want the full 50 metres of rope out when you're scrambling. You want maybe 12 metres of rope out. In order to get rid of the rest of the rope, what we normally do is we'll take coils around our bodies and then tie them off in the way that I'm going to show you. So how we do that, generally I like to put my hood up. So if you've got a hood, because that lets the coils sit nicely round behind you. And so I put my hood up and then take a coil round, first coil nice and tight up there, and then I put my arm at 90 degrees, keep it in front of me there, and then 1, 2, 4, 5, and then keep on going until you've got rid of all the rope that you want rid of. So you've got about 12 metres of rope between you. So both the first and the second can carry the rope so that the person who's doing all the leading doesn't have to carry all the rope. Okay, so you've got this rope between you. Then you put your hand, your free hand, in behind everything and out through so it goes across your shoulder. Okay, at this point you can take your hood off if you want. Then again, you put your hand down inside and underneath everything. Can you see how it's even underneath the one that comes from the figure of 8? You then catch that, pull it through so you've got a loop here, like this. Okay, you then wrap that loop around everything, turn this through so you've got a nice little rabbit hole in there, stick it into the rabbit hole, and effectively what you've done is you've tied an overhand knot around all of your ropes. So that can't now slip up over your head. You then take a carabiner, clip it through the loop that you've got, clip it onto your harness loop, and then just to keep the rope in a slightly better position, I then put a clove hitch, which again is in the Port Crag 1 clove hitch, and put that onto the carabiner as well. There we go. So we've now got an overhand knot holding everything down. We've now got a safe point to climb from, and we can go off scrambling. And that way we can very easily keep the length of the rope between us so that we can move fast and we can move efficiently. So I hope you've enjoyed this edition of the Port Crag. As I say, I primarily do these videos so that I know what I'm doing, and I'm able to teach that fairly easily to people that I might take out. What I would say is if you do want to go scrambling for the first time, that you do so with a qualified instructor, somebody who's Association of Mountain Instructors member, a qualified MCI mountaineering and climbing instructor. But I hope that you've enjoyed it. If you have, then give me a thumbs up, maybe subscribe to the channel, and hopefully there will be more Port Crags coming soon. I guess over the winter I'll do a few more than I did in the summer when I was out enjoying climbing. Bless you, take care, have a great time on the hills.